Temporary housing Virginia Beach. We've got quite the topic to dig through for today, temporary housing. It's time for us to know what housings are considered as such as well as the benefits we can get from them. To start it off, let's define our terms temporary and housing. Temporary defined as not lasting or needed for very long. Housing defined as buildings for people to live in. Sticking both terms together, it's already self-explanatory as to what these housings are, but it should be taken note that temporary housing is also referred to as corporate housing, extended stay hotels, and other options like Airbnb, as this sort of housing allows people to remain for a limited time without needing to furnish a new house or sign a long-term lease. Here are the different types of temporary housing options I've found so far. 1. Extended stay hotels. These are said to be available for business travel, relocation, and family vacations for long-term hotel stays. 2. Traditional hotels. This is said to be a good option if one only needs lodging for a few days due to the accumulation of regular hotel prices. 3. Rental homes and apartments. These homes are said to offer flexibility and are even frequently the cleaner and cheaper option. 4. Airbnb. This online community marketplace has locations in 220 countries around the world and over 100,000 cities, which makes it very possible to find a place to rent through it. Now let's move on to the benefits temporary housings offer, which had been covered by https://www.furnishedquarters.com/blog/ Is temporary housing for me? Being fully furnished and equipped. Having utilities, including Wi-Fi, built into the price of the rental, set up and working upon arrival. Offering easy move-in and move-out processes. Being more economical than staying in a hotel for months on end. Including a full kitchen, bedrooms, and separate living spaces. Meanwhile, it should be taken note of that it isn't only individuals that benefit from temporary housings, even certain industries benefit from it. 1. Healthcare. Temporary housings are said to be ideal for healthcare workers since they provide move-in ready apartments with everything they need to feel right at home right away. Furthermore, temporary accommodation near hospitals allows physicians and nurses to be on call and travel to where they need to be as quickly as feasible. 2. Entertainment. Temporary housing is said to be able to provide certain characteristics in a variety of styles and places such that people in the entertainment or production industries tend to want a lot of solitude and facilities whilst having to frequently travel to filming locations and remain for months or more. 3. Business travel. Temporary housings are said to offer greater room and comfort than hotels, with them coming with fully furnished kitchens and living rooms, making it ideal for longer visits for business travelers as they can feel at home. 4. Relocation. Due to the number of things those who are migrating need to accomplish, many relocates choose to live in short-term housing to ease the adjustment, as providing a move-in ready, completely equipped place to live at may alleviate a lot of stress. 5. Insurance. Temporary housing is said to have the potential of being a lifesaver, as fire, water damage, and natural calamities can cause individuals to be temporarily evacuated from their homes. Hence, in these situations, temporary housing offers insurance claimants with a place to stay that is similar to home. 6. Other industries. This includes accounting, advertising, and PR, consulates, embassies, and missions, education, finance, government and military, human resources, legal, non-profits and cultural institutions, and technology. In connection to the above listed, the following are usually the reasons why temporary housing is considered as a good option. 1. When you're given a short-term work assignment, temporary furnished flats are less expensive than hotels and allow you to remain in a genuine apartment that is more appropriate for living. 2. When you're relocating, you may stay in a temporary furnished apartment to relieve some of the stress as you settle in and seek for more permanent housing, or you can test out an area before committing to it. 3. When you're a student or educator in need of off-campus housing, not only will not be required to sign a lease that does not overlap with the school year, utility bills, including Wi-Fi, are frequently fixed and included into the monthly rent, simplifying your living expenditures. 4. When you're renovating your home, in the midst of renovation, you and your family may remain in a fully furnished apartment near your permanent home for as long as you need it. That way, you may go about your daily lives as usual until the work is finished. 5. When you need to be near a hospital or medical facility, several corporate housing companies provide furnished flats near major hospitals and other medical institutions. As it's critical to have lodgings that seem like home at a time when either you or your loved one is receiving medical treatment. 6. When you're between leases or homes, in the case when the new home you're moving into isn't ready yet, temporary housing is a convenient option to fill in such gaps in housing. It'll save you from having to stay in a motel or, heavens forbid, stay with grumpy relatives. 7. When you've been temporarily displaced, corporate housing can be a lifesaver if you've been displaced due to a fire, earthquake, storm, or other natural disaster. Inquire with your insurance agent about temporary furnished housing choices in the areas where you'll need them, or see if the corporate housing firm can deal directly with your insurer. 8. When you're vising or hosting family for an extended period of time, all of us know how inconvenient it can be when there are too many heads under one roof. Hence, renting a nearby furnished apartment is a terrific option, especially for special events such as the birth of a new baby or a holiday when everyone needs to be together. That way, we no longer have to rely on pull-out mattresses, cramped restrooms, and even cramped kitchens. If you do find yourself in one of the situations mentioned and is considering temporary housing, here are the things you need to consider next before booking. Size: this mostly depends on how many heads will be with you for the accommodation. A piece of advice I've read would be to fine-tune how much square footage you want to quickly narrow down the results by location. Price is one of the biggest factors we all consider before buying stuff, the same is said for accommodations. Hence, it is vital that we know our budget and determine our price range to narrow our options down. Just like how fancier brands are more expensive, the same concept is of course applied to the type of temporary housing options out there. Amenities: there are many different amenities lodging locations can provide, such as full-size resort-style pool and a gym, a community dog park or basketball court, in-home laundry or private outdoor space, a coffee in the lobby or weekly happy hours for their residents, and even restaurants and coffee shops on site. Hence, it is said to be good that one knows and focuses on what they and their family needs. Location: meanwhile, this aspect is quite dependent on the purpose of one's booking, as some travelers have to be in a specific location, such as a doctor working in a certain city or a writer on location. Aside from that, one can go back to focusing on the price instead if they happen to have flexibility with their location. Now I'm pretty sure that you are really keeping in mind to consider temporary housing as an option in times of need. So here is a tip from https://zeusliving.com/blog/what is temporary housing as to what you should bring to your temporary housing to end our topic for the day. Before you pack your bags, make sure to find out what's included in your temporary residence. This will spare you the frustration of packing up the car to find out you already have everything you need. These days, many temporary housing accommodations come fully furnished. Yours may already include things like sheets, towels, and cooking utensils.